So here's a fantastic question from section 5B of the Year 12 Standard 2 Mathematics Cambridge textbook. The tyres on a racing car had lost 3 millimetres of tread after completing 250 kilometres of a race and 4 millimetres of tread after completing 1,000 kilometres. Assuming that a linear relationship exists between loss of tread and distance covered, find the total loss of tread d millimetres after s kilometres from the start of the race. What would be the tread loss by the end of a 2,000 kilometre race? Give your answer to one decimal place. So they're talking about linear relationships, and so we can assume that there's going to be a straight line relationship between how far we are down the race, which is designated by S, which is used in physics to mean displacement, same thing as distance, and tread depth, or D. In a Cartesian plane, if you're thinking about X and Y, 250 is the independent variable, which means it's going to be on the x-axis. The tread depth depends on how far down the road you are. So you've got the point 250, 3, and you also have the point 1000, 4. If you draw a straight line between these 2 points, there is the ability to calculate the gradient by imagining a right-angled triangle here. From 250 to 1,000 kilometres, we have lost 1 millimetre of tread, which is to say the rise on this gradient is 1 unit. And the difference between 1,000 and 250 is 750 kilometres. So the gradient is 1 over 750. What that means is we lose a millimetre of tread for every 750 kilometres on the track. The question asks us to find the total loss of tread, d, after s kilometres. So that's going to be an equation of the form y equals mx plus c. We've already worked out gradient. Gradient is 1 over 750. So then what we do is we substitute. I'm going to use the point x is 250 and y is 3. So I drop that into this equation. 3 equals 1 over 750 times 250 plus c. Well, that's going to give me 3 equals a third plus c, which means that c is going to be 2 2/3, or 8 over 3, if you like. So we can now write the expression d equals s over 750 plus 2 2/3, which tells us that even before the race started, we had lost 2 2/3 millimetres of tread. And finally, the question says, what would be the tread loss by the end of a 2,000 kilometre race? Well, D is going to be 2,000 divided by 750 plus 2 2/3, which is going to be 2 2/3 plus 2 2/3, which will be 5 1/3. Rounded to one decimal place, it's going to be 5.3.